Welcome back to C4S classes, where we are discussing objective series questions asked in the Telegram group. So, the questions of today's session are based on Foreign Trade Policy 2023. Okay. So, before we will be discussing the answers of these questions, let's go to some details regarding the FTP policy. So, as per 2022-2023 data, our exports have crossed $750 billion, and these exports include services as well as the merchandise exports. So there are four pillars that are mentioned in this FTP that we are going to discuss. So the first one pillar is incentive to remission. This remission means whenever an exporter pays taxes on certain goods that have to be exported, that amount has to be refunded to the exporter. So in this way, the government is promoting exports in the economy. Second pillar is export promotion through collaboration. Exporters, states, district, Indian missions. Third one is ease of doing business, reduction in transaction cost, and e-initiatives. Fourth one is emerging areas, that is e-commerce developing districts, e-commerce developing districts as export hubs and streamlining SCOMET policy. So SCOMET is an acronym for Special Chemicals, Organisms, Materials, Equipments and Technologies. So in the FTP 2023 policy, they have also added four towns in existing export, four towns in the list of towns of export excellence. And this list already has 39 towns. So these four towns were Faridabad, Moradabad, Mirzapur, and Varanasi. And it is the category for which they have been included in the TEE program. Next one we are going to discuss authorized economic operator. It is a concept that comes under World Customs Organization's SAFE framework. All right. So it is a customs model set out to support secure trade. So it has four core elements that are harmonization of the advanced electronic cargo information. Each country that joins SAFE commits to employing a consistent risk management approach to address security threats. Third one is at the request of the customs administration of the receiving nation, the custom administration of the sending nation will perform an outbound inspection of high-risk containers and cargo. And fourth one is the definition of benefits that customs will provide to business that meet minimal supply chain security standards and best practices. Okay. So this AEO concept is there where operators can be accredited by customs. That means national authorities will be accrediting the AEO. AEOs, that means the businesses are accredited as AEOs by the national authorities itself, and those businesses will be included in this AEOs who prove to have high quality internal processes that will prevent goods in international transport from being tampered with. Okay, so there are certain standards that they have written here that have to be met. So if some business is included in the AEO, so as a result, customs will trust the operator and perform less or no inspection on goods imported or exported by or via the AEO. So it becomes that business becomes a trusted one. It is a stamp given to a business that they are trusted ones. So less security checks are involved. So their business uh, ease of doing business increases. Right. So this benefits the mover of the goods as goods are available more quickly, which means lower transportation cost. Now we are going to talk about some status holders categories that were mentioned in the policy. So if export performance thresholds are given, so if 3 million US dollar threshold is there, so 1 star export house will be the status category. Similarly, for all the 5 star categories, thresholds have been given. And if you are accredited with certain threshold or certain status, then you are required to train certain number of individuals. Okay, and these are the numbers that this firm who has that category is required to train. So that means if you are a 2 star export house, that means you have to have 5 apprentices or trainees that you train every year, and such thresholds are there higher for other categories. Now moving back to the questions asked in the quiz. So first question was the which one was not one of the key pillars. So we have discussed all the 4 pillars. So ultimately the answer will be this one, development of export hubs. Okay. So here we have to stick to the language that is written for pillars in the policy. So even though it is kind of inferred that this is kind of a inferred or this is kind of a policy that will be done by this FTP, but it is not specifically or explicitly mentioned. That's why under the pillars. That's why we will be taking this as the answer. So here 5 towns are given, out of which has not been awarded as town of export and excellence recently. So Kanpur is the answer. Okay, we have discussed with these 4 towns. Now, in this question, primary benefit of being recognized as authorized economic operator is asked. So clearly the answer would be priority clearance for goods at customs. Okay. So fourth question was, so which entity typically grants the status for AEOs? So it will be the National Customs Authorities. So in fifth question, framework is asked in which AEO concept has taken place, has taken, from where AEO concept has been taken. So we discussed safe framework of the World Customs Organization. Okay. Now these two questions, sixth and seventh, are from the threshold categories of the tables that we discussed a few moments ago. So in first question, 2 star export house is asked. So the threshold category is 15 million for 2 star. Okay. And for 5 star status holder, they are asking how many people they have to skill upgrade or train. So the answer would be here 50. So that's all for today's session. Thank you and have a nice day.